Please sit down. Please sit down. You are Supriya Pranay.
Yes.
And you want your interview in English.
Yes.
Right. Acha, you have named Supriya Pranay.
Yes.
What is the reason behind this name Pranay? Normally they cast name. What does Pranay means and why have you taken this name?
Sir, Pranay is my father's name. It means love.
Okay.
And it's a conscious decision to not use caste so that we move towards a more egalitarian system.
But you say in this materialistic world, now of course your father, mother is there, but in overall working, does love and passion has any meaning? Will it help you in any way in your service?
Sir, I personally believe that without love, human existence is not possible. We are, as humans, we are a social animal. We need emotional support. And even if the world is materialistic, behind us, like beneath us, the values, the core values of love and peace remain. So it is very crucial.
But in government service, if you are more emotional and compensate, you may be tricked. There are a lot of frauds. They may put certain stories and then get some benefit from you. How do you feel that you will be able to handle this situation?
Yes, sir. Sir, the idea is to use the emotions. The concept is called emotional intelligence, where we understand and manage our and others' emotions to bring results which are effective and productive. We use reason and emotions to balance each other.
Okay, now I see of course there will be questions. You have studied BA Honours in Hindi and doing PhD. In between Masters you must also have done in Hindi? Okay, Masters you have done in Hindi and your optional subject also Hindi. So let me have a simple question. Have you heard of the story Usne Kaha Tha?
Yes.
Who wrote that?
Sir, CHANDAN.
And any special, why is that story remembered often?
Yes, sir. Sir, that was a fundamental shift in the Hindi story writing. Before that, the stories were very non-realistic in nature. Very हिंदी में अगर मैं क्योंकि हिंदी साहित्य है तो क्या मैं हिंदी में हिंदी
नहीं आप बोलिए जैसा
तो आदर्शवादी कहानियाँ लिखी जाती थी. इनफैक्ट तिलस्मी अय्यारी कहानियाँ लिखी जाती थी. कथाओं के रूप में कहानी थी. कहानी का ढांचा को और साथ में जो हम नई कहानी में चीज़ें देखते हैं, फ्लैशबैक पद्धति हो गई और किस्सा हुई के बदले कथा का टूटना दिखता है यहाँ पर. तो ये सब उसने कहा था में हुई. तो एक दृष्टि से ये कहानी के ट्रैजेक्टरी में एक शिफ्ट था. कहानी को एक झटके से परिपक्व आगे तो जाकर प्रेमचंद ने बनाया क्योंकि एक परंपरा ही शुरू हो गई, लेकिन उसका बीज इस कहानी में दिखता है.
नेम ऑफ द जो उसके लीडिंग कैरेक्टर है उस कहानी का नाम याद है आपको?
सर लहरा सिंह.
You have given hobbies Madhubani painting. You do yourself or you studied it?
No. I am learning, trying to do it.
See, my frankly, Madhubani painting is total bakwas. It was nothing except गांव की लेडीज कुछ ऐसे ऐसे खींच देती थी. Only the publicity has been there. Otherwise, its artistic value is nil. How do you react?
I would choose to differ.
You agree with me. If you don't, you are full. But give me reasons. If you agree with me, give reasons. If you don't agree with me, feel free to criticize me. Feel free to send some bouncers at me.
Sir, the basic premise that you said is right, that it was just done by ordinary women of the Mithila region. But the idea that it is devoid of any artistic expression is something that I would like to disagree with. Sir, with just the use of lines, simple straight line and curved lines, what we get is a very thematic expression, the themes of marriage and religious festivals and everything that affects us, that's a part of the social sphere of people from Mithila, is very expressively, artistically expressed in the painting, using natural colors without any external financial, we don't need any monetary support to do it. It's just what they feel, what they understand of the society, how it is, they express it. And like you mentioned, it is that rural women are doing it. So they were not even very educated. So it is also a medium of self-expression. Currently we can see that Madhubani painting is utilized to promote various things. We can see across the Patna, all government buildings, the boundaries are made with Madhubani painting, reflecting various themes like voter rights and cleanliness, and also some NGOs are using it for environmental conservation by drawing Madhubani on trees so that illegal cutting down of trees is curtailed. So I think it is.
That will do, Supriya. Please, Haj Modi sir.
Supriya, Madhubani painting is a kind of culture. Yes. So can you define how the culture of a particular area is decided and what are the deciding factors?
Yes, sir. So our culture is the way of life of a society. So it is determined by its geography, the availability of resources, the customs and traditions of the place, and the history of the place, the climate of the region. That's all I think.
That is a geography?
Yes.
So how the climatic conditions of that regions where the Madhubani painting is doing is different from the other side of the Bihar?
Yes, sir. So the Madhubani painting is from Mithila region, which is a part of geographically it is the part of the Terai region.
Yes.
And it is dominated by, it is abundant in rainfall, and often sometimes floods is prevalent in the area. The land is fertile because of the alluvial soil, which is contrary to the south of Bihar. If we see, it is the south of Bihar has less rainfall, it is marked by droughts, and since the landform is based on the plateau region, so the soil is different. So these are the geographical.
Means the soil conditions of that region is different from the soil conditions of the other part of the Bihar, and the other climatic condition means moisture condition and other condition is different from the other part of the Bihar. Okay. Supriya, one thing is there, you have read the polity, constitutions and other part. So can you define the word constitution specific? What is means the word constitution means? Can you define in a very short way, 1 or 2 lines?
Constitution is a set of rules that limits the government and provides that decides that who will be the government, who will make rules, and how they will be made, and how the authority is to be limited. I think that is it. I'm not.
Okay. So one thing you have heard that Indian constitution is an example of written constitutions, whereas the constitution of the Britain is an example of unwritten. So what is the basic difference between written and unwritten constitution?
Yes, sir. So verbatimly, it is not like it is nowhere written. It is just that one compiled book is not there. Whatever the laws are passed by the British Parliament, that is the same as. There is no difference between there is a constitutional law or a British.
No, why it is said as unwritten constitution?
Because there is no compiled document.
No compiled documents?
Yes, sir. Which is it is continuously being like whatever the Parliament of the British made acts, they are also called as acts. Whereas in case of India, Constituent Assembly drafted a constitution which set the defined rules, and that is the constitution.
So Constituent Assembly drafted and it was enacted on 26th of November 1949.
Yes.
Yeah. So how many article was enacted on that date?
So I'm not sure of the numbers.
Can you name any country which have the first constitution that is the example of written constitution?
I'm sorry.
तो political science के student नहीं थी.
No, it is question from polity. Okay, general studies. So as far as the geography of India is concerned, Indian climate is known as the tropical monsoon climate. So why it is known as tropical and why it is known as monsoon?
Yes, sir. Tropical because due to the Himalayas, looking at the longitude, the latitudinal division, half of India comes in the tropical zone and half of it comes in.
Which latitude divides the India into exactly?
23 and a half, the tropical.
Are you sure?
Dividing, I'm talking about the tropical zone, not about exactly half the region.
Exactly which latitude? Which divides India into two equal parts?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
कुछ दिन पहले उन्होंने एक डिसीजन लिया कब पास
I'm sorry.
यू हियर अबाउट द रेपो रेट
Yes.
काफी न्यूज़ में रहा कुछ दिन पहले
would like to make a guess.
4 or 4.25?
Yes, I'm not.
What is 4 or 4.25?
I will not. Yes.
अच्छा, आपका जो फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस है वो BPS है,
Yes.
है?
Sir, because I think that the law and order of any place is very crucial for the overall development of the area. And since law and order is primarily role of the police, I think it is very important.
ऐसा कुछ माइंड में है जो लगता है कि अगर आपको ये मिल जाए तो सबसे पहले उसको आप सुधार करना चाहेंगे?
सर, पहले तो मुझे जो प्रशिक्षण दिया गया और मेरा जो काम है मैं उसे निष्ठा से करूँगी, और दूसरा मुझे मौका मिले तो मैं वुमेन पर हो रहे क्राइम्स को लेकर प्रोएक्टिवली वर्क करना चाहूँगी।
जैसे
सर, जैसे कि harassment cases of harassment, which also includes eve teasing, and which creates a lot of problem in the transportation of women, and it creates a hurdle in the overall development because she is not allowed to go to the college or school often. There are many constraints, so I think that has to be addressed primarily. That is something police can do if it's a low hanging fruit.
तो क्या आप फीमेल हैं तो क्या सिर्फ फीमेल के ही नाम पे?
नो सर, लाइक आई मेंशन, आपने कहा कि आप क्या विशेष सोच रखा है, तो मैंने दूसरे जवाब में दिया। पहला जवाब तो जो मेरा काम है, जो मुझे सिखाया जाएगा और जो मेरी जिम्मेदारी है मैं वो करूँगी। फिर उसमें मुझे मौका मिलता है एक्स्ट्रा कुछ करने का, तो मेरा केंद्रीय ये रहेगा, क्योंकि ये मुझे लगता है कि मैं जिस भी पद पर रहूँ इस काम को मैं कर सकती हूँ।
अच्छा, आपका ऑप्शनल हिंदी है,
जी सर।
कितनी उम्मीद है कि आप ये इस ऑप्शनल से रिजल्ट आपका होगा?
The support given by any it relies on two principles: most favored nation and non-discriminatory approach. These are the principles it follows during trade, and various subsidies are allowed by any country, which are kept in different boxes: green box, amber box, and blue box. And accordingly, the idea is that the least developing countries have their opportunity to develop, but also simultaneously the trade is done in a non-partial manner for the overall growth of the global economy.
Now, one last question. This is the recent current affairs you must be having. Recently in Japan, leaders of several nations met and they agreed to make a forum type of thing. What was it? They agreed that will form a, whatever you can call a group or a forum. Joe Biden announced it and they agreed. Have you heard of that in Japan? Indo-Pacific, no. Okay, I think that.
Last 1 month or 2 months, current affairs होते हैं।
No, ठीक है, of course. Okay, then thank you. Your interview is over. You can go.